Hey guys, and welcome back to my 2017 Black Desert Classic Ironman Series, where I try my hardest to replicate the difficulty and nuance of playing the game when it originally released. In the first video of this series, I go over the exact rules I need to follow, but the gist of it is I can't use the central marketplace, no cron stones because we used to make fun of people for using those back in 2017, no items that were not released in 2017, and absolutely no Pearl shop. This means that there's also no ferry and no tent as well, which makes things really difficult. I can also only travel between Balanos, Serendia, Calvion, and Valencia. So no content outside of those zones either. Technically, the first half of Kama Sylvia was released in 2017, but I'm not counting it for this series because I didn't really explore it much when I originally played the game anyway. Now, for the first episode of this, we have a lot of setup going on. We're playing Mewa in this series, which is a big choice because if I want to reroll, I have to find and create all new weapons for the chosen class, just like I would have to back in the day. I will say that we had a bit of difficulty playing with lag initially, but we installed some programs to help with the ping, and now I'm doing a lot better on the Asia server here. The main story is surprisingly difficult without the help of Naru gear or other seasonal rewards or progression. To make matters worse, Perlim has actually removed all of the trash loots from mobs in lower level monster zones like Swamp Fogans or Original Orcs, which makes finding Blackstones and your first bit of money extremely difficult. Obviously, this is way better for new players, but not super great for me playing BDO Classic here. You also don't get natural gear drops from these low level spots anymore, which makes it really hard to progress with a proper amount of DP. Now, I know what you're all thinking. To hell with DP, just kill them and then they can't hit you. Death is the best CC, and that is true. But the problem is that I can't actually feasibly get AP either. I didn't have access to the Abyssal weapon until the Medaya questline, although that was out in 2017. I can't get to the Medaya questline until I finished Calpheon, so trying to kill Zarka was actually brutal. It took several attempts, and I even had to go out and grind an abandoned iron mine to get more Blackstones, levels, and AP. What's the problem with that? So these mobs kind of hit hard. This is like the Thunderdome out here. I got farmed and had... Yeah, that's right. I got farmed an abandoned iron mine trying to do basic mobs. And then the constant struggle of pre-awakening Mewa is also brutal. Mewa is not a great class until her awakening opens up. She lacks AoE, damage, consistent protection, and you have to use both potions all the time because she has almost no sustain, whether it be mana or CC. And to tally up all the other things that make Mewa a constant struggle pre-awakening, it's just been absolutely obnoxious. Nevertheless, I push forward and grind onwards. Eventually, I was able to slay Zarka, which unlocked the remainder of the Calpheon questline, which I finished without too much of a problem. I moved on to the Medaya questline and finally picked up the Abyssal weapon, and then I stopped questing for now to do some grinding. However, the Abyssal weapon didn't help me too much as I just unlocked my awakening right after getting the Abyssal weapon, which meant that I'm pretty much in awakening all the time now, but it does help contribute to that awakening AP, which is still useful. Now, the first step of my grinding was to get all of the Azula accessories, and I'm almost there. I was able to lock down Azulas in each grind zone, save for one ring I'm still missing from, what in the hell is that grind zone called? Wandering Rogue's Den. As I said, I then toiled through my awakening quest and unlocked the beloved Carry Spear, which really brings the class online. Sadly, I am still lacking a lot of the main skills that make awakening very good, as leveling up is exceedingly difficult. I can't use EXP buffs outside of server-wide events and what was available in 2017, which means I have Blessed Message scrolls and they're fine, and the 200% scrolls you get for logging in every day are totally fine, but I can't actually turn them into 600% because that was a feature that was added far later. On top of all of this, as I said before, I have to use hundreds and hundreds of potions because Mewa lacks sustain for mana or HP while grinding in these tough zones. No ferry or tent means frequent repairs, trips back to my horse, and I have to manually pop both types of potions, which honestly takes me back to the day, man. Now, despite all of this brutality, I am actually having way more fun than I am on my main account. All of the progress feels meaningful, and every single upgrade brings me closer to my next goals, while at the same time unlocking new content. I feel like chat really enjoys watching the progress over on my Twitch channel as well, because All along the way, I'm sharing the different tech and the knowledge and all of the crazy little aspects of the game that a lot of adventurers probably have never even heard of or even knew existed in the game that I have to do now that I'm playing BDO Classic. Now, let me know if you guys want me to share some of that tech in these videos. I can totally do that as well. Now, some of the other things I did on the account was make some alternate characters so I could place them in front of the Night Vendor. Yes, that's right. Night Vendor, as world boss drops are heavily based on your contribution to the boss, and I only have about 72 AP in my awakening, which brings me to yet another problem. My awakening weapon actually can't be enhanced. As great as the carry spear is, the blue cannon carry spear, which you get for doing the main story, can't be enhanced at all. And honestly, this is good for new players, but again, not so great for me. And since awakening weapons don't just drop from basic mobs, my only real option here is to discover a dandelion or get a drop from Karanda. Now, when I originally started playing the game, I'll be honest, I went to Karanda about 100 times and she never put out for me. She's kind of a prude. I eventually was able to snag one via pre-order at +3 on the marketplace back then, via bidding on it. And it still took weeks to get. Now, I can't use the market this time because, you know, it's not the old marketplace and we're trying to make it kind of equally as hard as it was back in the day. So I need to hope for a lucky roll on the Night Vendor if I'm going to get any more awakening AP for the most part, because the Azula accessories are kind of going to be best in slot for me until maybe I might get a red or blue coral earring from Pirates. Speaking of Pirates, Pirates and Sausins are going to be my primary grind zones. Sausins mainly because it is the iconic spot where you're supposed to get Grunil, and Try Ultimate Grunil is the best setup as it gives +7 AP as a 4-set bonus and is extremely strong armor for this stage of the game. It will unlock the Valencia grind zones for me later, and until I get Grunil, I'm kind of stuck at Sausins and Pirates. Pirates would be great as well because it makes more money than Sausins. The problem is I need fishing boats to really make that content worthwhile, and I need wagons to make the Sausins content worthwhile, which brings me to yet another dilemma. I can't buy wagons off the central market, and I can't buy fishing boats either. I can, however, make them myself, which is why I've started setting up a worker empire. So I have set up workers in each of the towns, and I've started bringing in potatoes as my primary grain source because I'm going to have to make a lot of beer. I also purchased a residence to put a basic utensil in that I got from the vendor. Beer, of course, has to be used because there was no grilled bird meat in 2017. Now, fortunately, when I'm grinding, I do have 3 maids that the main story give me, which I'm allowing myself to use because the main story did give maids back in the day, and then they also gave maids away pretty much monthly for login rewards early on in the game. But I have not purchased any of them. The problem is the maids can't be used with the Magnus because I haven't done the Magnus because it didn't exist in 2017. So now I have to ride to every region in order to get my stuff. And I don't have a value pack, which means that every single region has like 1 row of space, which means I have to put a bunch of contribution into my storages, which means that I'm gonna have to start doing, drum roll please. That's right, Caltheon dailies. Chimney sweeping. One of my next big projects in the game moving forward is going to be getting a level 50 ult that can run the Caltheon dailies for contribution every day, just like we did back in the day, because I need to get more contribution so that I can get more storage space, so that I can get more worker lodging, etc., and things like this, because I have to develop this account if I'm going to make this work long term. I need to make sure that my workers are able to work long term, so I need to have cooking set up, and I need to make sure that I can craft things all on my own as well, which means, again, I'm going to need a lot of workers. Now, as far as my gear goes, this is what my gear looks like for now. Again, I am missing 1 Azula ring, and it's not much to look at. I don't want to drop blackstones. You can see I have 24 blackstones here, which is amazing. I got a few of them from the Night Vendor. Money in the bank. But the problem is I can't really get... I don't really want to invest into the store bar because, like, I'm going to go immediately to Grunil, and I haven't been able to really grind Grunil quite yet. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there. And again, I can't enhance my carry spear, but I did get a White Warrior Warm Bow out of a rolly box, and that was big because there's like a 1 in 28 chance to actually get that weapon, and I got it, which is amazing for me. So I have that at +8. We're gonna make that an ultimate version, and we're gonna enhance that up. We're gonna sit on that as our offhand for a while until we're able to get our hands on a Kudum, which is gonna be awesome. I am kind of riding on the Roaring Magical Armor DP, and then the Rugged Valley helmet that you get from the main story for now, as I don't have the gloves or the boots yet. I have not done the Valencia questline yet. That is one of my next projects, is to get through the Valencia questline, so that I can unlock a lot of the nodes and knowledge over there. To be honest with you, I need a lot of energy. Now, that is why I am standing in front of this man right here. So I am actually recording right now so that everybody can see it. If I do end up rolling anything good, we are really hoping for a good piece of gear here. I'm going to go ahead and throw away that Book of Combat. We have 575 mil that we have scrounged together because I basically have to get, I'm getting it from basically login rewards. This is like 1 week of login. Oh my gosh, guys, this is like 1 full week of silver for logging in. And that's basically what I get because I make like 6 million an hour from grinding right now. Is a little rough. So
if you're a broke boy, just say so.
We need to make sure, and we have to have the silver on our character if we're gonna buy stuff from Patricio. It is nighttime on SEA, and I have been waiting a couple hours for this, so let's go ahead and roll this. I'm only gonna get 2 rolls here per character. That is nothing that we can actually buy. Oh my gosh, Blackstones. Oh, it's so good. I'm like the only person worldwide that actually is happy that I'm getting Blackstones from the Night Vendor. I was standing on this character before so that she could get more energy. The rest of these characters should also all have 2 rolls, and this is what it was like back in the day, guys. Is you had to roll, you had to swap character to character and just roll all of these characters, and you had to make sure that you had all of that silver on your particular character. Now, back in the day, your silver was actually localized to your storage. So if you had something, if you had a bunch of money in Velia, you couldn't pull it out in Calvion. You had to run all the way to Velia to go get it. So it was important to make sure that your characters had silver. Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's really good too. Oh, this is how we're getting our Blackstones. One big problem I've run into, guys, is Medaya actually just doesn't drop Blackstones, which is part of the lore of the game that a lot of people don't know about. The game is called Black Desert because Valencia actually is big. There's Blackstones all over Valencia. It's just like Blackstone rich environment. So until I can really get to Valencia, I'm going to be short on Blackstones. Blackstones are going to be a super rare commodity. In Medaya, these things are rare. I'm getting like 1 or 2 Blackstones an hour grinding. Okay, like these are extremely rare, and no one really runs into this anymore because no one ever has to do the Valencia or the Medaya grind zones. But like this is what we dealt with back in the day. Oh my gosh, 5 Blackstones there is really good. Man, I'm not getting lucky enough to get. We really need a dandelion, guys. We really need a dandy. Although I would take any piece of gear. We would like dim tree as well. Again, I'm probably the only person on the server that really wants dim tree armor. But you know what? I'll take that. All right, 50 energy a roll. The dude's scamming me. What do we got? Oh, dude, I'm just not getting anything from this guy. Nope. And he didn't offer that in 2017, so I'm not actually going to buy those when they're available either. I only have 3 more rolls, and I might get 1 more before nighttime finishes on my Kunoichi. And I was standing on her earlier to get energy. Yeah, I tried laying down in Tran and Underfoe's bed. That does not work. You have to put a bed in your residence. If you lay down on it, you get 1 more energy regen per hour, which is, again, some crazy tech.
The lantern I have will be useful.
So bad. Can't take Kafras because they weren't there. And these are all the story. Like, in order to get more character slots, I have to use my loyalties on them. And that's really when I want to use my loyalties on. Although I'm probably going to have to get a fishing boat. I think I can get a fishing boat from loyalties. Because making those is kind of a pain in the butt. In order to make a fishing boat, you need pine sap. I know because I used to do it back in the day for the pirates grinders. I would make fishing boats because there's a really high demand for them. Okay, so we got a lot of Blackstones, which is, I suppose, good. Not exactly what we wanted, though. I'm going to stand here and hopefully get 1 more roll before it finishes here. So, didn't get anything from Night Vendor this time around. Unfortunate. That's okay. I'll keep rolling. I'll keep trying at it. And I'm going to keep using my loyalties on new characters so that I can get so that I can get more rolls for the Night Vendor, because it's going to be every single piece of gear. You're talking 4, 6, 7. You're talking 7 pieces of gear. And then the accessories, Honestly, Bassy Den might be a little rough because that's supposed to be a group grind zone. But you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So this is where I'm at so far, guys. I spent a lot of time running around and unlocking nodes in the world as well, because that has been fun to discover, and unlocking the map, as well as leveling up my horse from scratch, although I'm pretty sure I'm still faster running for now. Make sure that you guys tune into my Twitch channel, where I will be streaming the experience live and sharing all of my old knowledge and tech from back in the day. I'll be trying out Deadeye for sure on my main account when it comes available soon, and I will have walkthroughs and guides for her all over my YouTube as well, so look forward to that. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Okay, bye bye now. Bye bye. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye now.